now joined by an election official in the Fairfax County. Now, this election could be decided by smallest and thinnest and barest of margins. In Virginia, it's a pretty purple state, or blue state, if you were to believe some of the polls. But there has been concerns also raised by some Republican leaders. So we wanted to talk to them and understand from them. So how's the voting coming along? How's the turnout been?
Sure, absolutely. So far here in Fairfax County, about half of our county chose to vote before Election Day, either at one of our early voting satellites or by mail. And so far this morning, we're about a quarter of the way through the day, and another 10% of the county has voted so far.
So 10% county, and what is the usual percentage of voters in this county? I mean, is it 50%, 60%? Do you know?
Sure, it depends on the type of election. It can be anywhere from 10 to 50% in most elections. But for this election, we're looking at an overall turnout of about 80% once all the votes are in.
80% voting, and this is what we've been talking about. There will be a huge turnout, especially on election day. So the talk about these ballots, they've been dominated by some of the Republican people saying, and I've talked to some leaders too. They've said on the record, Trump's winning this if the ballots are not compromised, if the election is not stolen. How do you guys ensure that the ballots cannot be tampered with?
Sure. So the first thing is anytime someone has suspicions about our process, we always invite them to become part of the process, serve as a poll worker on election day, or come and observe our processes. And that's kind of the key. Everything that we do is transparent to the public and to representatives of both major political parties and any other party that wishes to observe the process. They can come in before Election Day and see as we test our voting equipment and make sure everything's working correctly. They can come and watch as our office functions and out at the polling places on Election Day, and they can watch as we verify the results after Election Day. So it's all open for observation by the party representatives.
So they can come in and they can see when you guys are counting the votes, is it?
Sure. So the votes, for example, the votes cast on Election Day, they're scanned and tabulated at the scanners in the precincts at the polling places. But as those come in, they are more than welcome to watch them come in at the precincts or here at our office.
When will the counting begin?
Sure. So the counting begins really when a voter scans their ballot into the machine. That's when the votes on that ballot are tabulated. The results are not known until the voting ends that day and the machine tapes are printed. And then they can see what those numbers are, and then those are reported back to our office.
So poll close at 7 p.m. Tonight?
That's correct. Polls close at 7 p.m. and anyone who's in line at 7 p.m. is still permitted to vote.
And when can we expect results from Virginia or this county? When can we expect those results getting uploaded on the websites?
Absolutely. So unofficial election results will be published as we have them tonight. So starting at 7 o'clock through every hour, every half hour, we'll be publishing updates as we get more and more of the results back. The official results of the election won't be certified until November 15th. That's the state mandated deadline. But by the end of tonight or tomorrow, we'll have a pretty good idea of who's won here in Fairfax County or the state.
Now, I know you're only in charge of this area and this county. A lot of people going out there and voting. They probably have concerns about these, voting machines and whatnot. The name that comes to mind is Dominion voting machine. Are you guys using Dominion at all?
So we use voting equipment from a company called ES&S, Election Systems and Software. It's not Dominion, it's a different company. But all of the voting equipment that's currently used and certified in the United States and here in Virginia is equipment that has been tested to the strictest standards.
Okay, so one last question. All the voters there out in America right now, they can be assured that whichever candidate they've picked will get reflected in the results.
Sure, absolutely. So whoever you choose to vote for and whoever you mark on your ballot, that will be included in the official results of the election.
Thank you so much for speaking with us. So there you have it. You've heard it from an election official in America saying this talk about election manipulation, ballot manipulation is not happening. It's never occurred. It probably will not occur as long as these machines have been tested and both the parties' representatives have a role to play in ensuring that the election is free and fair. This is Rohit Sharma reporting from Washington, D.C.